essential topic if we want to live free emotionally and in our relationship. We're gonna talk about appeasing the emotions of our inner child. Okay, and my first point with you is that yes, it's possible. I am a living proof. I'm practicing it very often, and I'm going to share with you today why I'm so triggered. Even if I study a lot and I practice on clients, um, I am triggered a lot. I'm going to share with you how. And I want to share something first and foremost with you about the fact that we all have childhood trauma, emotions from the past that haven't been listened to and treated. So, of course, transmuting emotions is today my life purpose because I come from a very complex trauma at the age of 5. So from 5 to 15, my trauma wasn't listened to, totally ignored. So I was in depression from 5 to 15. So of course I come from this really complex trauma, and I need to learn and to share and to turn it into a purpose. But if you don't come from a very big trauma from the past, let's be honest. We all have emotions coming up randomly in our lives and relationships. Especially as highly sensitive people, this is something that is very triggering and validating, right? It can be an anxiety, it can be anger, it can be a sadness. So this is what I want to share with you this week in this video, and also in the guided treatment that I'm going to share with you later in the week. So my point this week is not only relieving the emotions of our inner child, this little girl that is still crying sometimes, but my first message that I really live in my own life and I can see in my clients is that, and it's kind of a mantra for me. My first message is this one: there is a surprise behind our trauma, and especially the emotions that are coming from the childhood. There is a magic. This is the point of my work and all the content I'm sharing online. This is what I want to share with you: the transmutation. Emotional transmutation is my purpose. This is what I want to share with you in this channel. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share with the other women and highly sensitive people the content, right? And just enjoy commenting the videos and sharing with me, right? Where are you at in this journey of being closer and more friends with your inner child? Okay, this is what I'm going to share with you in this video, and I'm going to share with you my personal concrete example. As I told you, from 5 to 15 I was really depressed, and I've repressed the emotions. I have buried my emotions. And today, as a grown independent woman, I have a life partner. And this life partner has a little daughter. And the daughter has the age I was when I was depressed. So each time he's talking about her as a dad, I feel very old emotion coming up. And also I see images of this little girl I was, totally dissociated, like I was dead inside. I was totally like a zombie at school. I was very, very in pain because nobody could understand me. Nobody could listen to me. That's why I'm doing what I do today, because I express my emotions and I help you express your emotions for yourself and also in your relationship. This is what we're going to do today. And the first day. So Every Tuesday, I share a video about a topic to release our emotions and to be more free as women. And every Thursday, I share with you a guided emotional release treatment. So if you look at this video in a replay, maybe the treatment is already under this video. But in this video, I'm gonna share with you 5 very important key in my experience and what I have seen in my clients. 5 very important points to get closer to your inner child and to be more free emotionally when those emotions from the past are coming up. So tell me and think about those 5 points and tell me where you're at, or ask your notebook, write in your notebook where you're at in your emotional inner child healing. Okay, when I talk about inner child healing, it can also be inner teen, right? So myself, for example, I have emotions coming from when I was a little girl, mostly anxiety and fears when I was from 5 to 15, but I also work with my inner teen. When I was 18, I had a lot of anger, right? So it's my responsibility today as an adult to treat those stored and repressed and suppressed emotions in order to not play those anxieties and angers in my relationships, okay? So this is the first thing. So now the 5 important points that I'm going to share with you in the treatment, and then I'm asking you today to see where you are. Okay, so the first thing to see, maybe there are things in the 5 points that you're more advanced or less. Okay, this is really for you to evaluate where you're at. The first thing that is very important and that makes the difference between a woman who has a good relationship with her inner child and someone who is still denying that she had emotion repressed from the past. The first thing, super simple, is to recognize. Okay, so my first question is like, do you recognize that there are some emotional blockages to be released and that you couldn't deal with when you were younger because you were not equipped, not in the right environment, you didn't have the tools we have today, you have denied some emotions because that was too big for you, too difficult. And those emotions, anxiety, anger, sadness, fear, frustration, whatever, they come up regularly in your lives and relationships. This is the first question I have for you. Is it okay for you to recognize that those emotions are not solved? Your inner child is still hurting in those situations of your current life, and that provokes a cost. Those unsolved emotions have a cost in terms of health, in your mental health, in your mental emotional health, in your relationships with yourself or with other persons, or maybe those unsolved emotions have a cost in your professional life, in your business, or in your purpose in terms of procrastination or fear of failure or fear of being seen, or etc. So this is the first thing we will cover in this treatment this week. And the second point is like, once you have recognized that some blockages have to be released from your current life, are you able to connect with those repressed emotions in your body? Because your unhealed emotions from the past, they don't talk with you with perfect grammar and sentences. Your unsolved emotions are talking to you in the form of bodily sensations. So the second point that is really important to appease this inner child is to move from the story. When you have an anxiety coming up in your life, the first thing we do, right, is like we stay in the head and we talk about the story. This is the situation, this is this person, blah 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 blah. My second question is, are you able to move from the head to the body, to switch off this dialogue, negative inner talk, sometimes very judgmental, scary, not helpful, to move down in the body? If, for example, you have an anxiety coming up from the past, you connect. Usually the anxiety is around the chest, right? And you connect, right? And you listen to the unmet needs of this child you were before. And from these needs, you will have actions and you will discover new things and learn new things and transmute the emotions. I'm going to guide you into this step 2. But it's really about your ability to move down from the head to the body and to listen to the sensations that are the language of your emotions, right? So this is clearly emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is not just to be more free with yourself and your relationship. Emotional intelligence opens new doors on a daily basis in your life, right? This is one reality of the magic of healing our emotions, right? And the third thing that we're going to cover during the treatment is learning some self-regulation practices, right? Self-regulation means that you have tools to regulate by yourself those emotions that come up from the past, from nowhere, right? So I share with you a lot of somatic practices in this channel, in my videos and in my treatment, to regulate by yourself the nervous system. And the more you practice self-regulation, again, what I'm sharing is not one shot treatment, it's a process. The more you practice on your own or following my guided audios, the more you teach your nervous system to not be too overwhelmed next time you will be triggered. It's a re-education. You re-educate your nervous system. It's not because when you were young something dysregulated you that today as an adult you have to live your life dysregulated. No. We can learn how to regulate ourselves with self-regulation tools. So this is my last question. My question: how can you self-regulate your emotions when they come from the past? This is something that we're gonna do. And the last thing that I feel really, really important myself, and tell me if you practice that, is the connection with your inner parent, right? When an unmet need of your inner child is coming up, you can use your inner parent energy. So the inner mom is the feminine energy, motherly energy that you have that can envelop and consolate and sending an unconditional love to your inner child. And your inner dad is this masculine energy that can protect you to not be hurt again. If you have been abandoned when you were young and today you are in a relationship that you have this fear to be abandoned, you can use your masculine energy as an example to not be abandoned again and to build your resiliency and your independency, inner independency. Okay, so this is my last question: is how do you use your inner parent to bring this balanced energy to your inner child, the feminine, the masculine, and to see how you can meet your most pressing needs, to shift this fear, this anger from the past into resiliency, wisdom, and creativity. So I'm going to share those practices with you in this treatment with you this week. But in short, my last message from my heart to you is, in short, healing the inner child. There is something behind healing the inner child. It's also changing your energy to another frequency. I shared that with you last week already. Healing your emotions, especially the emotions from the past, from the childhood, for the teenagehood, open you a new consciousness, brings you a new consciousness in your life. Why? Because the more you practice those tools, the more you will bring the love you missed when you were young. The more you practice inner child healing, the more you bring yourself the security, the inner security you missed before. And the more you practice those, uh, train those muscles, self-love, inner security, the more you will create self-compassion. You will have compassion for yourself, the woman you are today, and this girl you were before. The more you cultivate self-compassion, the more you will forgive yourself. You will forgive this woman you are today, who are still triggered by emotions from the past. We have to forgive ourselves for something that other people did to us, right? This is not our fault. We are not guilty of what happened before, but we are responsible of the emotions that are triggering our body today. So this is really what I wish for you. And actually, this is my last point today, and all the emotional healing experts in the world will tell you the same thing. Please, my dear, healing your emotions, and especially childhood emotion, is really about taking time with yourself and being gentle, bringing the gentleness that you didn't have before. Most of the time, trauma is based on violence, but the second violence that you live is the violence of carrying with you those unsolved emotions decade after decade. Carrying unsolved emotions and trauma from that long ago, it's violent. So please, let's embody time and gentleness in our healing. This is a process. We are here together in the same boat. I'm with you. I'm just a little bit ahead because I study it and I share that every day. But I'm exact same boat than you. And the more we go in this process of emotional freedom, there is another gift. There is another magic. There is a surprise. And for me, the surprise of healing the inner child is that we recover our inner force, our inner fire, our creativity. And here, if we can use this inner fire, inner force, and real creativity with this beautiful little girl we were, this is really, for me, the real healing, the real emotional, mental, and relational healing. This is what I wish for you. I'm here for you, with you in this channel. Subscribe, share, and book with me your private emotional healing session, or just send me a message, an email, if you want to talk about your wounds, trauma around a coffee, virtually on Zoom or in Bangkok. That would be my pleasure to meet you and to move forward together. I love you, and I see you next Thursday for the emotional release treatment, and next Tuesday for a new video and a new topic to live even more freely. Thank you very much. Bye bye.